How to make easy money crypto mining with your desktop PC. This is a RTX 3080 5950X, and just by using the GPU I'm earning £50 a week from this system, as I've already done. And I'm going to take you through the easy process, easy mining with Nicehash. Very easy, they kind of made it any easier, just a few clicks and you're done. So first I'll show you how much I'm actually making. Now here the estimate £7.77 per day. Actually is less, because I've exactly made in 1 week nearly £49, so that's about £50 a week, and in dollar terms that's about $70. So how easy with Nicehash. I'll take you through the step-by-step process. We'll also do the calculations of how to figure out how profitable it is after electricity costs. So the first step before you do anything is to go to this page I'm going to give you to check the profitability of your GPU, because if your GPU is ancient and it's not going to generate profit, there's no point even getting started. Like this one, £8 profitability for the RTX 3080, 90 megahash. That is excellent megahash rate, and only at 225 watts power consumption. I'm going to take you through all the calculations of what you need to do to work out your true profitability, but this number varies a lot. But I've actually made £50 in 1 week, well £49. That's total earnings, but I'll show you how to calculate actual earnings. But first step is to check your graphics card profitability on the page I'm going to give you. So here are the GPUs ranked in order of profitability per day. At the top is the RTX 3090, then 3080, then you got AMD Radeon and a mixture, all the way down to the 2080 Ti, which is last generation, and they all generate at least $5 a day. Obviously the one I've got, the RTX 3080, is near the top, so it's one of the most profitable. But even with a relatively cheap one, a 3060 Ti here, you can get by with, the fans are ramping up again on the GPU, $6.60. Anything above $4 is profitable, because you use a lot less electricity than that, which I'll calculate in a minute. And we go down, further down the list, 3060, then we come to the old 4-year-old 10 series card that are basically, you know, even because suppose you could mine at $3 per day if you got an old card. What about a GTX? Even the 1060s, oh well, once you start getting down to $1 a day, then not really practical. GTX 970, I wouldn't bother. I wouldn't really bother under, say, $2 a day. So basically, cards over the last 4 years, a good card over the last 4 years will be able to mine. Obviously, you want to aim for a better card, a newer card in the 3000 series if it's a Nvidia. RTX 3080, one of the best. You're not going to get much better even with a 3090. But then just the cheaper one, the best model in terms of price, is the RTX 360 Ti. It's better than the 370, even though the 370 costs about $200 more, and it delivers the same net profit after power use it costs. They're using this calculation is based on the US costs, but I'm going to calculate fully in terms of UK costs, which is more. We pay double electricity, about 18p per kilowatt hour during the day. It's about 11p for about 6 hours at night. I'm going to go through all those calculations on this system. So the next step will be to follow the link to go to the Nicehash site and download Quick Miner because it's easy to get started in that. You can use the traditional miner, Nicehash miner, but it will give you slightly more profit, maybe just, and we're talking about slight 3, 4, 5%. It's not going to make much difference to most people. But Nicehash Quick Miner is up and running virtually straight away. Download and install it, and that's it, it's done. You don't have to add any exclusions to your antivirus or anything. With this one, you're going to have to add exclusions to antivirus because it uses lots of third-party mining algorithms that your antivirus software will flag. Whereas a Quick Miner, there's none of that. It is literally quick. That's what I use. I use the Quick Miner. So you got there we go. There's the Quick Miner running. You get the same window, and here in the task manager we've got the Quick Miner with its settings. You can quickly change the settings. I've not overclocked it or anything, and it shows you its current mining speed. That's basically the Quick Mine. So the first step in determining whether it's profitable to mine or not is to know the amount of electricity your system uses, your desktop PC. And this one, after a boot, is using less than 100 watts. However, we want to simulate real usage, so we're going to open up some browsers and apps and YouTube, and then play YouTube and then see what it is, what it jumps to, and that'll be our base level before we start the miner. So now we've got several apps open, playing YouTube, we've got Excel, Firefox, Chrome, and we've got hardware info monitoring the system, which we're going to use to see what the Nicehash is doing once we start it. So all of this is now running, and the system is currently just 120 watts. 120 is like the base, although it will spike to 200. The system is not using much, 120 to 130. So we'll be conservative here and go with 130. That's not much, is it? In fact, we'll round it up to 150 because we'll probably have, if we're using the system, we'll have more apps open, like Word, and maybe some more tabs, or a lot more tabs. Yeah, so let's round it up to 150 watts when under normal usage of the computer. So that's our baseline, which is pretty low for this 5950X RTX 3080. But we're not doing any rendering or anything, just normal work usage, work type usage, bit of YouTube video playing as well. And now we're going to start Nicehash Quick Miner, and we'll see what it jumps to, what the new baseline is. Probably going to increase by, guessing, 200 watts from say 150. Let's start it. There we go. Let's hope it runs. Sometimes Windows Defender can be a pain. Has it started? Yeah, it's starting up now. I'll put it here so you can see it. Yeah, it's not started yet, it's just starting up. We'll know when it started when the GPU memory junction temperature jumps to around 90. Well, it started now. So it started mining now, and GPU memory junction temperatures increased. I've still got the YouTube video playing in the background. Again, 383 on the hash rate, and right, let's open it up in the browser so you can see. There we go. You can see they're mining away. So it's mining based on a MSI afterburner, which is not running, so let's run that as well. I don't know why that didn't start up. Okay, so we've got MSI afterburner running. Here the fans are now ramping up. Memory junction 9600. The fans are ramping up to cool the system down. Should bring it down to around 96. GPU wattage is 227, which is where we expect it to be. So what's the system draw at this point? It has jumped to 325. 325. It's going to between 320 and 330. So we'll let it run for a few minutes to settle down. We'll see what the system draw is while it's mining. So let's give it a couple of minutes to settle down. Getting 400 efficiency, that's pretty good. Okay, it's proving efficient. There, junction memory settling around 98 and 96. There's the MSI afterburner kicks in. Okay, so let's have a look what it is now. There, it's increased. I saw it at 340. So 320 to 340, and let's round that up to 350. So it's 150 base, 350 whilst mining. When I say base, I mean with the videos running light usage. You know, you're just using it for work purposes, Excel, browsing, playing YouTube, what like. Okay, playing YouTube, and there the hardware info there. Memory junction clocks, temperatures come down, which is good. Just don't want that at 100, want it below 100. Basically you're not going to get it much below, maybe 94. 94 is probably the sweet spot. That's maximizing. What are we getting now? That's pretty low. Mega hash. It varies a lot, because when you're using your computer it will vary a lot. But on the plus side, that will reduce memory junction temperature. Reduce the load on the memory. So it swings and roundabouts. So you know it's 90 now. So the hash rate's going up. It'll vary because you have limited the CPU to 67%, and obviously video is using, you know, when you're watching YouTube you are using the GPU, not by much, but you are using it. So what's the now? Oh, I'm getting so 356, but it's roughly, it's varying between 320 and 350. So if you take the upper limit 350, that can be our GPU limit. Yeah, 350. So 150 is without the GPU, without the mining, and 350 is with the GPU mining. So that's 200 watts for mining. That's the cost, electricity cost for mining with quick miner. Well, Nicehash will be virtually the same. So let's put those numbers in. Yeah, we're using conservative numbers on electricity usage. Obviously base is slightly less than 150, it's around maybe 130, and with the miner it's slightly less than 350, maybe around 330 average. So we'll go with 350 and 150 to keep it conservative, so we don't overestimate our earnings. So let's put those numbers in and see what we get in terms of profitability. Okay, so here's the calculations after using the Nicehash crypto miner for 7 full days. That's of light usage, i.e. one screen only. Normally I rig the system up to use 3 screens, but this is a new system that I've not deployed yet, so it's light usage. And the GPU conservative usage is 200 watts. Actually it's probably a little less, never mind, we'll use 200 watts. Electricity during the day is 18 pence per kilowatt hour. It drops a little bit during the night for about 6 hours, but I'm letting that go. Again, conservative. Total mining income £48.41, which translates into £6.92 per day, or 28.8 pence per hour. That's the average over 7 full days, slightly over 7 days. And GPU usage 24 hour at 200 watts per hour comes in at 4.8 kilowatt hours per 24 hours per day. It translates into a cost of 86 pence for the GPU per day. That means the net profit per day has been £6.05. Now, total system draw is 375 watts. That's, you know, light usage, browsing, Excel work. Like I said, I'm not been using the PC as my primary computer, as a secondary one whilst I'm testing it still before I transfer over to it. So that means total cost is £1.62 for the system per day, which means the net profit for the system is £5.30, which is pretty good. Now that will drop when I switch the computer, when I'm using it as a primary computer, but I'll do a separate update for that once I made the switch and used it for at least a full week. So what does that mean in terms of profit? Whoa, eye-watering. It makes £185 profit per month on the GPU and £162 per month on the system. That is too good to be true, isn't it? 3 months, 550, 485, 6 months, 1100, 969. So in 1 month, this computer is going to make me about £1,000 in 6 months. Crypto mining with Nicehash. Sounds too good to be true, but I don't know. Is it too good to be true? It sounds too good to be true. Just having the miner on, I do expect the real world figures to drop, but not by much. The most important figure is the top one, because that is the GPU mining. The system's going to be on anyway, you know. So even if it drops to 960, that's still £1,000 pure profit from crypto mining in the background for 6 months. Now, yes, GPUs are time limited and the mega hash rate, because it gets more and more complex over time, but still mining Ethereum, which is what QuickMiner does, you got at least a year and maybe as much as 2 years out of something like an RTX 3080 card. So I think I'll be able to mine for at least 1 full year, and probably for as long as 2. The profitability may drop or it may not if the price goes up. If the Bitcoin price goes up, then, you know, even though you get less mega hash calculations, then it will still be profitable because the Bitcoin price is going up. So it's a win-win. As far as I can see, it's a win-win situation. Yeah, how can you lose? Crypto mining, you've got a powerful computer, powerful graphics card that you're not fully utilizing. You give 200 watts of it over to the GPU, to the crypto miner, and the rest of the system you can use as normal, like you're not mining with the CPU. And you, like I've seen, you're not going to use much wattage of the GPU, and you also really underclocked it to ensure that you don't kill it early. Yeah, if you overheat the memory junction, then you will kill it early. So I don't see what can go wrong here. I'm looking at the GPU junction. It's pretty low, 88 at the moment, and anything below 98 consistently is safe. So what can go wrong? How can you lose? Well, you could lose if the Nicehash take your money. So you might want to withdraw regularly. So once you set up your Coinbase account, but then the Coinbase could go as well. So you might want to think about actually spending your cryptocurrency or removing it to some other wallet, offline wallet, hard wallet. That's the only thing I can see that can go wrong. And if you manage your system settings properly, don't kill your graphics card by trying to get a daft mega hash to say 110. That will just destroy your graphics card. So what can go wrong? I'm gonna make, well, we'll see in 6 months if I made £1,000 from a mining Nicehash in the background or not. I'm aiming for, I'm gonna be, remember I'm being conservative. I'm aiming for 120, this is what I'm actually aiming for profit. 120 per month, 6 months, 720. A year times 2. So I am being conservative in these figures in my expectations of when I actually deploy the system. I'm going to be aiming for around £120 per month profit, 726 months, £1,400 in 1 year. That's realistic conservative numbers of profit. So what are you waiting for? Go download Nicehash Quick Mine and start earning money from your system in the background. The only thing here is probably going to affect is gamers. I can't see anything negative here. Can you? If you can, leave a comment below. You know, if I've got something absolutely fundamentally wrong. But I've done the sums. I can't see what, you know, it's going to make me, it's not going to kill the system. It's going to make me £720 over the next 6 months. Crypto mining in the background. I'm sure I'm not killing the system by monitoring the temps. Junction memory is currently at 88. Anything in 96 and below is safe. Yeah, these figures are high. That's because the system is not being used much. Just light, because I've not deployed it. It'll be interesting to see whether I can render while it's mining, because yeah, for that I'm gonna use the CPU to render, which is a 16-core 5950X. That should be powerful enough to render. Normally you would use the GPU to render, but obviously the GPU is busy mining, so I wouldn't use the GPU to render. It'll still be fast with a 16-core 5950X. Render time obviously not as fast as if I use the GPU. That's probably the only negative, that I'm watching what I'm doing with the GPU, extra like rendering stuff. And if I really want to use the full horsepower of the GPU, I will have to stop crypto mining for that period, exit the app, stop crypto mining, exit, do whatever I'm doing. Hopefully rendering videos will be fine without the GPU, but something more intensive like machine learning, running an algorithm, that maybe not be possible without the, well, it won't be. You need a GPU for that. Anyway, we'll see how much it earns over the next 6 months. You know, it's giving me free money, £5 is roughly per day. You know, 5 times 30, 150 a month, which I'm being conservative, knock it down to 120. No, I'm not doing anything for this extra money. It's just gonna, basically I've turned my computer, which is a sort of a liability because it's not generating an income, into an asset. You know, The computer, yeah, it's useful. It is generating money indirectly through work. It's an asset in a company that I'm using to work, but it's an asset in its own right that is generating a profit in the background as well. That is something good that will effectively will pay for itself in roughly 20 months, to be realistic. What can go wrong? Anyway, we'll see if something does go wrong. The worst thing that can happen is that crypto mining damages the GPU. The GPU cost $850. So in roughly 6 months, the GPU, the crypto mining will pay for itself. So what can go wrong? Even if it shortens the GPU's life to say 2 years instead of 4, you're still gonna, I don't know. I'm taking care of the GPU. I'm expecting it to last 4 or 5 years. So there you are. Get started crypto mining. Only downside is don't get carried away and kill your GPU or shorten its life. Watch the junction memory temperature. The lower the better, though. When you're mining, it's roughly going to be around 98, 96, between 92 and 98. Here is probably, the system's not mining as efficiently at this moment. Yeah, look, 64 megahash. It's not quite as efficient as normal, but you'll get that variation when you're using a computer. So go ahead, do it, or at least look into it. Follow the link in the description, and off you go.